278 Corridor Improvements project begins in Bluffton at the intersection of US 278 and Moss Creek Drive. Between Moss Creek Drive and Salt Marsh Drive, the project would not make any changes to the roadway, but would add bicycle and pedestrian facilities along US 278. Beginning at the intersection of US 278 and Salt Marsh Drive, an additional lane would be added, providing 3 lanes in each direction. Turn lanes would also be improved to access Moss Creek Village and Fording Island Road. As US 278 continues east from Bluffton, the roadway would shift to the south and a new 6-lane bridge would be constructed immediately south of the existing bridges. The new bridge would continue over Pinckney Island National Wildlife Refuge, where a new interchange would be constructed to improve access to the island. Vehicles traveling from Bluffton and Hilton Head Island would have dedicated exit ramps to access Pinckney Island and the boat landing. The new interchange would allow vehicles to exit US 278 safely, while other vehicles continue past without concern of those turning. The shared use path would also have access to Pinckney Island. From Pinckney Island to Hilton Head Island, the new US 278 bridge would continue along the south side of the existing bridges. Unlike the existing bridges, the new US 278 bridge would pass over Hog Island entirely and end near the rear exit of Windmill Harbor, just south of the existing US 278 roadway. Vehicles currently using the rear exit of Windmill Harbor would instead use the main entrance. The shared use path would loop under the new bridge and continue along the north side of US 278 to the end of the project. Access to Hog Island would also be improved. A new 2-lane road and bridge would be built to connect Hog Island to C. Heinrich Circle, north of US 278. The existing access to Hog Island from Blue Heron Point Drive would be closed after construction. A new traffic light would be placed at the US 278 intersection with C. Heinrich Circle and Cross Tree Drive. The improved intersection would provide dedicated left turn lanes onto US 278 from Windmill Harbor and C. Heinrich Circle. Vehicles on the side roads could also pass straight through the intersection, unlike today. Pedestrian crosswalks would also be added across US 278. A new 2-lane connector road would also be constructed just north of US 278 to connect Jenkins Road to C. Heinrich Circle. With the addition of this new road, Jenkins Road will be converted to a one-way street, allowing right turns only from US 278. Southbound traffic on Jenkins Road would use the new connector road to access US 278 at C. Heinrich Circle. As US 278 enters the Stony community, the new 6-lane roadway would shift slightly to the north. The southern edge of the pavement would stay in its current location to avoid impacts to residential and commercial properties along the south side of the roadway. The intersection of US 278 and Squire Pope Road would also be improved. Dedicated turn lanes from Squire Pope Road onto US 278 would stay the same, as would the existing turn lanes onto Chamberlain Drive. However, left turns from US 278 onto Squire Pope Road would no longer be permitted. Instead, vehicles would continue through the intersection and make a U-turn at Old Wild Horse Road and then turn right onto Squire Pope Road. A dedicated free-flowing right turn lane from Squire Pope Road to US 278 would be added. A new traffic signal would be added at the Old Wild Horse Road intersection. Old Wild Horse Road would be converted to a one-way street, allowing entrance-only movements from US 278. Turn lanes would be added on US 278 to protect vehicles making left turns and U-turns. Right-hand turns onto Old Wild Horse Road would stay the same. The intersection of US 278 at Spanish Wells Road and Wild Horse Road would also be improved. Both roads would be widened to 3 lanes to allow for dedicated left and right turn lanes onto US 278 and 1 straight lane. Right turn lanes from US 278 would stay the same. However, left turns onto Wild Horse Road would no longer be permitted. Instead, vehicles traveling to Wild Horse Road from Bluffton would turn left onto Old Wild Horse Road and continue to Wild Horse Road. Similarly, traffic headed west towards Bluffton would no longer be able to turn left onto Spanish Wells Road. Instead, drivers would continue through the intersection and make a U-turn at Old Wild Horse Road and turn right onto Spanish Wells Road. The project would end just east of Spanish Wells Road and transition to the existing 8-lane roadway and sidewalk, ultimately connecting to the Cross Island Parkway.